Technologies. I'm one of the Mifos X developer.
Thanks, Ashok.
Hi, this is Vinny here. I'm also from Conflux Technologies. I implement Mifos for our customers and also work as the product manager for Mifos.
Thanks, Benny. And then Ishan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi guys, my name is Ishan and I'm a second year undergraduate currently pursuing BTech. I'm an aspiring GSOC student.
It's good to have you on the call, Ishan, and thanks for taking the initiative to start to learn more about the project. So,
Thank you so much.
Ruben, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah. Hi everyone. I am Ruben. I am a member of Capital Technology team. I am Peruvian. I am a front-end developer in the team, and also back-end too, because I know Java and C#.
Okay, great. Well, it's always good to have you on the call, Ruben, so glad to have you on again. Then, so we'll just start, talking about some of the features that are being developed and worked on in the product right now. Ashok, did you want to give just a quick rundown of some of the items that are being worked on? So.
Yeah, sure. Currently, we are working on adding current account and adding on savings part. We are adding a fixed deposit and recurring deposit products. And we are in a process of evaluating performance test for Mifos X on IBM's VNP servers. So that's underway.
Okay, thanks, Ashok. Okay, and then and so we on our last user meetup we went over the product roadmap for the year in some detail. We're just finalizing details on that, and then we'll publish that to the community, and then we'll host a separate call just to discuss the priorities for what will be going into the product for the forthcoming year. And then just to let people on the call know, we're also we have a number of volunteers who are working on helping to automate some of the installation processes for Mifos X, and then we also have a good number of volunteers who are working on building out the user manual and some of our installation documentation. And then we also have a group of volunteers who have been working on translating the Mifos X community app into a number of languages. So we just had a volunteer finish the French translation, and then we have good progress being made on the Spanish, Chinese, and there's a little bit of progress on the Indonesian translation, and then Nyan from the Conflux team is working on the Kannada translation. So I wanted to spend a couple minutes today discussing our project ideas for Google Summer of Code. So we're planning to apply to be a mentoring organization once again in this year's Summer of Code program, and so our application is due on February 14th. So by that point in time, we'll need to have our list of project ideas completed. And just for those who aren't too familiar with the Google Summer of Code program, it's a program that runs basically throughout the summer, and in which Google, sponsors students from across the world to work and contribute to open source projects. So they provide a stipend to the student, and then they select orgs which are able to select students, and then we mentor the students throughout the summer. So this past year, we were lucky enough to bring on 4 students, and I think many of you interacted with them and saw how much impact and value they added to the community. So we're looking forward to participating in Summer of Code once again this year, and hoping to maybe even grow our participation to perhaps have, perhaps 5 or 6 students this year compared to the 4 we had last year. So I'm going to share in the chat just a link to the current Summer of Code ideas brainstorming page we have, and then these will all flow into our official ideas page once we've arrived at which projects we think would be good. So I just wanted to see for the individuals on the call, if you haven't already looked into this document, what areas you thought might be interesting areas that we could expand, either the core platform, the front-end community app, or any of our other mobile and Android apps that we're working on. So the projects that we're looking for usually are projects that we're not looking to deliver to the community in the next several months, because the work won't be taking place till the summer, and then it's usually not till later in the year that we have everything wrapped up and shipped back to the community. So often the projects are sometimes a bit more forward-looking and nice to have features, but we want to hear from everyone in the community of any functional, technical, or just enhancements or neat features in general they'd like to see in Mifos X. So we have a pretty lengthy list of just ideas right now, and then we'll start to narrow down these ideas based on which ones we think are most impactful for the community and would be feasible in a summer of contributions for an incoming student. So I welcome anybody to start discussing any ideas they have right now. Oh, and then I think we had one other person join the call. So Kaha, if you can hear us, we're just discussing Summer of Code project ideas right now. So.
Can I say something?
Yes, go on, Ishan.
Yep. I see the Hackpad page, and we have something called mobile projects. So P2P platforms, payment platforms is going to be a good idea, because in many countries I feel that mobile payments and micro payments are still not brand and network agnostic. So we need a platform that a user could be independent of what service provider he's using, or what bank he has an account with or he doesn't. So that payment platform for us could be really nice, as in we're already a microfinance organization.
Yeah, no, that's great insight you have, Ishan. So, oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, Ishan, just this is Benny here. I think there's a lot of disturbance on the line.
Yeah.
Okay, it's better now, Benny, I think. So.
Ishan, so what I was going to say is, while we are talking about mobile payments, I think Airtel has launched M-Pesa recently in India. So it might be worth it if that could be a good area to do some research around, and whether the M-Pesa API is exposed, or whatever way in which the M-Pesa transactions are done, is it similar to what is done in Africa? If that is similar, then maybe we could do one development and do an implementation that is relevant for both Africa and India. So if you are doing some research, that would be a great area to do some R&D on.
I was recently working with a startup in the incubation center. There's a startup who started this micropayments platform. It's called Happy. So the USP they pitched to the investors was that in India, like you mentioned, Airtel has launched that M-Pesa API or service that they're using. So we can use to send money between Airtel to Airtel customers only. So the platform is not brand agnostic. But we can also send money, let's say if I have an account with some A bank and there's another user who has an account with A bank, so we can send the payment through mobile. But it's not possible if to send money between A and B bank account holders, nor can we send the money from Airtel to Vodafone or Idea or Reliance customers. So coming up with a platform that is brand and network independent could be helpful, because in that case we are not forcing the user to have an Airtel connection or a Vodafone connection. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, good point. I think I'd like to have a little bit detailed discussion with you if you understand this space well. I don't want to take up a lot of time on this call on that. So maybe I'll connect with you offline to understand what you did earlier and what was the work you did around making it brand agnostic.
Sure.
Yeah, no, and Ishan, really happy to hear that you've got that experience because, yeah, we, with the Mifos X platform, we recognize we have a very good opportunity to do more in the mobile transaction space, and so we've just been, waiting to sort of bring more customers on who want to start to innovate in that direction. So that's definitely a direction we're taking the platform, and we've been, waiting to move that way. So it would be, yeah, it's good to hear your knowledge on that, and if you are able to, if we're able to participate in Summer of Code and you're able to participate, yeah, that looks like a good alignment of skills that would add great value for the community. So. So are there any other discussion just on some of the ideas that are in the page here? And feel free, for those on the call, to edit the document as you'd like and add in any ideas so we can begin to discuss them and narrow them down. And I'm just resending the link to the HackPad to the chat for some of the other folks that have joined, because I know Kaha, I think you and a few of your team members are on the call now.
Yes. Hello, guys. Thank you for.
Did you have any feedback, Kaha, on some of the Summer of Code project ideas we were brainstorming?
No, not right now. We joined the call later, so we're not doing everything.
Okay. Okay.
Eso es lo
Okay.
que están poniendo.
Oh, Ruben, did you have any thoughts or ideas? I know we've circulated the list to Jorge, and I think Jorge is interested in Summer of Code potentially for Q Mobile, but I was going to discuss with him, about participating under the Mifos umbrella. So.
Yeah. Well, my team thinks that we need a pattern in the when you assign a new loan product of a client, you need to, or maybe on a group, the Mifos maybe should be have a part when you assign a new loan product, a new loan in the group. Mifos need to assign every client that have the group and not only a client.
Oh, could you clarify a bit on that, Ruben? I wasn't too sure what you were requesting. So you're saying each time you assign a new loan product to a group, it should...
When you have a group and then in your group you have, for example, then 9 clients or 10 clients, and you want to assign a new loan to group, that loan need to be distribution and every client and the group.
Okay, so each client has their own individual separate loan amount that they're tracking?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And have you tried, like within Mifos X, I think it's the new JLG, Joint Liability Group application, because I think that should offer the functionality you're looking for, Ruben, because it then will give you a list of all the individual clients in the group, and then you can create, their various loans all in that one step. So it's not just one loan to the entire group, but rather it's more a series of individual loans to each member in the group that they're all jointly liable for. So try that out there on the demo server, Ruben, and let us know if that's what you need. And Benny might have more details to add on this too. So.
And the other idea is that data tables maybe could be more more powerful. For example, if you want to add a new data table, not only that 4 or 5. For example, if you want to have a data table with the staff, you could be add a data table for that staff.
Okay. Yeah, I think the data tables is definitely a good area that we could expand upon for Summer of Code, and I know we do have a number of enhancements we need to document and list out, so we'll add that to the list, Ruben.
Yeah.
Thanks for that feedback.
Ruben, on the first point that you mentioned about a group loan, are you looking at something like one loan being given from the user interface? We give one loan, for example, of 10,000, and that being split across the 9 members or how many ever members are there. That's split up in equally or in a certain proportion. Is that what you're looking at, or is it just a bulk creation of the loans?
Yeah. Well, I think that that part maybe could be more customized, custom. For example, depends of the need of the client, depends the requirements of the client. For example, if one client wants divide the loan in parts equally, it's good. But if the client wants divide the loan in parts not equally, also is good.
Yeah, so we have this feature, like Ed said, we have this JLG loan feature, which gives you the screen where you can create all these loans. Yeah. Maybe I'll take it offline with you, and we will share the screen, and then if you can give me more details of what beyond that JLG loan, what you're looking for, that would be a help.
Yeah, great.
Okay, I'll talk to you offline on that.
Okay. Yeah, and then if there's time on this call, Ruben, after Ashok does his demo, perhaps we could walk through that on this call, because I think it'll be valuable for other people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next I just wanted to pass it over to Ashok, who can do his brief screencast just on the charges functionality in Mifos X. So I'll make you the presenter now, Ashok, and then everybody should be able to see your screen, and the recording of the session should be going okay, so hopefully we'll have a screencast of this after the meeting too. So I'll let you take it over, Ashok.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Ed. Hello, today I'm going to cover charges, which is used to model both like fees and penalties in the application. So I'll start with charges, how to create the charges and the types of charges and how it is used in the platform. So they're basically we are categorized into charges into 2 types. One is in loan charges and another one is the savings charges. Okay. To navigate to the charges, first you have to log into the application and navigate to admin, then go to products. Here you can see the section called charges. So it will list out all the defined charges in the application. So to create a new charge, you have to click on create charge button. So it will list, it will ask you to choose select a type of charge which you are going to create. So right now we support out of the box, support is for loans and savings. So the whatever charge we create here, it will be applicable to loan products and loan accounts, and similarly for savings product and savings accounts. So once you select one of the type here, this charge applies to loan or savings. Based on that, you will see the rest of the fields which you need to fill for creating a charge. And in Mifos X, we have provided a multi-currency support, and that applies to charges as well. So here charges supports multi-currency. I will just tell you about a few of the parameters which we are using here. that will give more idea about how these charges are used. So if you see here, charge time type is basically tells at what time of a loan's life cycle this charge will be applied. Because I have selected here charge type as a loan, so it will display the relevant charge time types related to the loan. So it will tell the when this charge will be applied in a loan's life cycle. So the first one is a disbursement. So basically, when you create a charge with the charge time type as a disbursement, this charge will be applied at the time of disbursing a loan. So this charge fee or penalty that will be collected during the disbursement of a loan. And if you see the second one, the specified due date. So if you create a charge with specified due date, so application allows you to specify the date on which you want to collect the charge. So this is useful. Let us say if any organization they want to apply a charge on a particular loan account, so they can specify any date on which they want to collect the charge, and they can apply this charge to that loan account. So that they can collect the charge. And installment fees, like if you want to collect the charge over a period on installments, like along with the installments. So in few scenarios or in few MFIs, they won't be collecting the interest. So what they do, like they'll be adding a fee along with the installment fee. So like whenever user repays a fee, so it repays a repayment. So along with that, they'll be repaying the fee as well. So during that, this installment fee will be applied. And the overdue fees, like when loan account goes overdue, is like the user doesn't pay the amount, so they can apply this overdue fee to the loan. Let me know if you have any questions. You can stop me if you have any questions. So based on this charge time type, the calculation charge calculation type will vary. So if you see here, the flat means like what is the flat amount, like if you can specify some amount to be collected as a charge or a fee or penalty. So there is a flat amount which you have to specify. And if it is a percentage of amount, the amount will be the loan amount. So if you specify some 0.5% of a particular loan amount, then if a loan amount is given as a 15,000, then charge would be around 75. So similarly, the percentage of loan amount plus interest will be used if you are selecting a charge type as an installment fee, and you can specify whether you want that percentage amount to be on a complete loan amount, or the loan amount plus interest, or only on the interest. And these charge calculation types, you can select any of these for any type of charge time type. Okay, for example, if you want to collect like during the disbursement, and if you want to collect some fee based on only the interest which you interest is applicable to the loan. So you can have any combination of these two, charge time type and the charge calculation. And the third one is the charge payment by. So this will tell how you want to collect this charge. A regular means it will be collected during the repayment by cash or a check or whatever. But when we say account transfer, so this this loan account should be connected to a user's savings account. So what happens in the if this for this charge, the amount will be collected directly from the savings account, and that will happen through a batch job. Like for example, if we create a charge and it should be paid by charge payment by as a account transfer, and on a specified due date, automatically system will deduct the charge amount from their savings account, the linked savings account. And here you have to specify the charge amount. If it is a flat, then directly if I specify 100, so it could be 100 rupees or based on the selected currency. If I select Indian rupee, then it is 100 rupees. Or else if you are selecting a percentage of amount, you have to specify here percentage. Like if I specify 0.5, so it will calculate 0.5% of total amount, and that will be a fee or a charge. And while creating a charge, we have to, if you want to activate it immediately, you can select it as active. Once we select it as active, it will be available during the loan product creation or loan creation time. So you can apply this charge to the loan account. And ease penalty field, this will tell whether this charge is a penalty. If ease penalty is true, then this is a penalty. Otherwise, like by default, we consider it as a fee. And ease penalty is used mainly for reporting purpose. They want to know like whether that fee they paid a charge as a penalty or a fee. And similarly, if you go to savings, we have a different set of currency. You can select available currency here, and the charge time type will vary based on the the charge type. Excuse me. So here the specified due date is similar to what I explained in loans. Here the savings activation charge time type is like if you want to apply some fee or charge to the client for activating or creating a loan savings account, so that you can specify. So what it happens is like once if you add the savings activation charge, so during activating the savings account, the charge will be collected from the user. It is like if you want to create a fee for account opening, so you can go ahead with creating a charge with the savings activation. And the withdrawal fee is like few banks they apply some charges on every withdrawal. So if you define a charge for withdrawal fee, so that the charge will be applied to the client whenever they are doing withdrawal. And annual fee and monthly fee are like a recurring fees. So if I apply annual fee every year, the fee will be applied to the client's account, savings account. And similarly, monthly fees, it is applied monthly. So these two are like basically the recurring charges we can call. Okay. Do you have any questions here?
Ashok, are we still planning just for the savings and loans in general, like more flexibility around those recurring fees where they could be, not just annually or monthly, where you get to specify the periodicity? Is that something that we're still planning? I think it's on the roadmap, correct?
I think that's true. Yeah.
Is that correct, Vinny? Did we have that scheduled? So.
I need to refer to it. I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay, thanks, Vinny.
Okay, but it's not that difficult to add a new recurring fee. Just now we are restricting to annual fee and monthly fee, but we can add up any type of fee later.
Well, Ed, what I don't think, again, I agree with Ashok. Adding a different type of fee at an account level, I don't think is very complicated. What could be complicated is to add a client level fees.
Okay, I'll say it would just be the client level ones if there was the recurring ones there. Okay.
Okay. So I'll quickly create couple of charges, and I will demonstrate how those charges are applied to loans and savings. So first I will start with creating fee charges for loan. Okay. Great. Okay, I'm selecting a percentage of amount. That means it will calculate whatever amount, loan amount. Based on that, it will calculate the fee, like percentage of. So right now I'll just select it as a regular, and percentage as a 0.5%. I'm making it as active, and I'll just make it as a fee. We can say it as a processing fee to give more meaning to this charge. Okay, I will save this charge. Now I created a disbursement charge. So similarly, I will add a few more.
On one question, Ashok, on that 0.5, was that 0.5% or is that 50%? I wasn't sure how that value gets interpreted.
It is a 0.5%.
Okay, so that will detect it as the percentage amount and not like the fraction as a percent. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll create one more. Okay, specify due date. Okay. Like I'll be charging some flat amount, like 100 rupees. Activating this charge, and I'll make it as a penalty, so I can show you like how to apply penalty. Save this. Oh, sorry, I missed out one field. Okay, this is again I'm selecting as a regular. Save. Let me add one more. Demo, and okay, this time I'll select installment fee. Increase. Okay, percentage of loan amount. Then paid regularly, and it is 0.75%. Okay, saying this. Now let me edit its charge type. Demo. Okay, so now I'll create a loan product to which I'll add all these newly created charges. Okay, let's create a new loan product. Okay, I'll leave out other things. I'll just only fill the mandatory fields. Okay, principal amount 10,000, default 10,000, 20,000, 10, 15, 20. I'm just creating this as a weekly repayment product. Normal interest is 12%. Pay out yearly. Okay, now I will add a charge. So here we while creating a loan product, under charges section, you can add a newly created charges. So here it will list out all the charges which are created for loans. So I'll just select newly created demo charges. Okay, this is a disbursement charge. Okay, let me add other two charges. Okay. Okay, fine. I will proceed with these two. Charge must have the same currency as loan product. Okay, sorry. Here we do some validations. Like while creating a loan product, all the charges which you add to that loan product should match. The currencies should match. So let me select the Indian rupees here, then save this product. Okay, now I have my product ready. So I'll go to a client and create a new loan. Okay, this client I will add a new loan which I have newly created loan. Select demo product, demo loan charges product. Okay. So if you notice here, okay, let me select demo charges to, okay, sorry, just selected the wrong one. Okay. Now if you notice here in this under charges section, it will display the two charges which are added at the product level. So those by default they will appear in creating a loan account. So if you want, you can remove those charges, or you can keep it them, or else you can, if you want to add a new charges to the loan account while creating a loan account, you can go ahead and do that. So you can add any of the charges. So I'll add one more charge called demo specified due date. Okay. So the moment you add this disbursement charge, that will be deducted at the time of disbursement, and installment fee will be divided across all the repayment installments, and the demo specified due date will be applied to the loan product during on a particular date. So if I select 6th of January, so it will be applied on 6th of January. So to demonstrate that, I will select the proper dates for loan submission and disbursal. So I will select disbursement December 23rd as a submitted date, and expected disbursement on the 30th of December. Okay. Okay. Now I've created a new loan. Let me go through. Let me see the repayment schedule. So if you see the repayment schedule, you can notice here this is the 30th December is the disbursement date for this loan, and this is the 75 rupees is the loan. Sorry, the fee applied to this loan account. This is a disbursement time fee. And if you notice here, this installment fee is applied here across all the installments, and the one fee which you can see the penalty 100 rupees. There is a specified due date fee, which is mentioned as a penalty, so it is coming under as a penalty. Because this is, let me see when I have made it as a due. If you want to see what are the charges are applied to this loan, you can go to the charges section. So here you can see the charges which are applied to this loan. First one is the disbursement charge, which is 75 rupees, which is due and which is outstanding here to be collected. And the second one is the demo specified due date, which is due for 6th of January. So that's the reason it's coming on the first repayment. So it's 100 rupees. And demo installment fee, which is a percentage of amount. Again, it's a percentage of the total loan amount. It's a 112.5. Let me see. This is a calculation. Okay, let me go back to the repayment schedule. Okay, it is displaying wrong, but here it is right. Let me do a quick calculation. So it's 15,000 into 1.5 divided by 100. So 75 is the disbursement fee, and for 98 what 94 .75. Yeah, this is a 0.75 percentage of loan amount. That's the principal amount. You can see it's a 7.37. 379. It's rounding up to 7.38. So this here the installment fee is right. The moment when I approve this loan and do the disbursement, it will repay the 75 rupees which is pending during the disbursement. I'll show this. Okay, I'll approve this loan on 23rd. Okay. Still you don't see any transaction details here. the moment I do the disbursement, you can see one more tab here called the transactions. In that, it will list out all the transactions against this loan account. So I'm disbursing on 30th of December during cash. Okay. Okay. The moment when I do the transaction, you can see here the transaction details are appeared here in this thing. The first one is the disbursement, and 15,000 of disbursement, then applying a charge of 112.5, then applying a charge of 100 rupees. Then this is a repayment at time of disbursement. This is again a charge of 75 rupees. And this is apply interest. This is a total interest for this loan. This will be collected after. This is a total interest amount to be collected for this loan amount. So if you go to the charges section, you can see here the disbursement amount is paid, outstanding is 0, and the specified due date on 6th of January. So still it is outstanding. So that needs can be collected. That needs to be collected on or after 6th of January. And similarly, installment is due. In this section, you can view of the charges if you want. These are the buttons if you want to view off. Once you view off, it won't be like it won't be charged. It won't be available for during the repayment of this loan account. I'll just show you this. I'll just view off this 100 rupees. Okay. So if you go back to the charges, the outstanding is 0. So you can go back to the transactions to see what happened here. So it will show here view loan charges. It's waived 100 rupees. And if you go back to the repayment schedule, that once the on 6th of January, if you go there, it won't be there. Sorry. Okay. So here it shows like due is 1,125.94. But if you go, if the 100 rupees already paid, so during the repayment it won't calculate that. So here you can see only like 1,025 rupees 94 paisa. So we can do the repayment. So this is how we can add charges to loan products and to the loan accounts. During any time of the loan's life cycle, you can add charges to it. If you want, if you think that okay, the client has not repaid the loan amount on time, and you want to put a penalty on him, so you can go ahead and put a penalty. You can select any of the penalty amount. Okay, this we can select it as a 13th of January, and you can specify 250 rupees. So the charge will be applied to him. If you go and see the charges, that 250 will reflect here. It's due and it's outstanding 250, and it will be collected on 13th of January. That is the next installment. If you see in repayment schedule, the 250 is applied in this loan repayment schedule. So this is how we can apply charges to the loan account. I'll quickly show you like how to add a charge which will be deducted from the savings account. Okay. Okay, I'll create a new charge which will be deducted from savings account. Charge. Then is I'll give a specified due date. The flat amount 150 rupees. and it is transferred from account transfer. Activate is okay. Save it. Okay, go back to the client. Okay. Before applying that charge, we have to have one savings account from which that amount will be deducted. So for that, I'll quickly create one savings account. This takes some. Okay, you see the currency here. Okay. So this I'll create somewhere in December. And I can create minimum opening balance. I'll just make it 5,000. So I'm not adding any charges to this. Okay. I have created a new savings account. I'll just upload this one so that December 23rd. Okay, activating. Okay. Until 20th. Okay, let me link this savings loan account to the savings account. Okay, I'll create a new loan with having a link to the savings account. Let me create a new loan with the savings account. Okay. One moment.
And Ishan had a chat comment there, Ashok. So
Yeah. Charge created and loan selected instead of savings. I think that's much. No, Ishan. It's like what I'm trying to do here is I have defined a charge for loan, and that charge will be deducted from the savings account. So the step which I missed is like I have not linked that loan product to the loan account to the savings account. So I'm going to demonstrate how to link to a savings account. So in previous step I have created a savings account. So I'm creating a new loan application for this client, and where I will be linking to the newly created savings account. So if you see here.
When you were creating the account, so it had two options. One was loan, one was savings. So why didn't we choose savings over there?
Okay. The charges are categorized into two, like loan charges and saving charges. Okay. And the charge which you create for savings, that will be applicable only to the savings. What that means, like if I create a charge here, you guys, you're talking about this, right? The selecting the savings.
Right. Yes, right.
Yeah, this means this charge will be applicable to the savings account. Like if you want to apply a processing fee for a savings account and annual maintenance fee for a savings account, so that will be applied using this charge. The loan charge which I created is something different, which tells like I want to what happens in microfinance institutions. Like clients will be having two accounts with the microfinance. Like they will be having a savings. They'll be doing weekly or monthly. They'll be doing some savings to the microfinance, and along with that, they will take some loan from the microfinance. So what they want to do is whenever that repayment is due, they will give a kind of a standing instruction, like they want that amount to be deducted from the savings account instead of collecting from them. So on a specified due date, it will take it from their savings account. Okay. Okay, I'll just show you how to link that. So it's basically like a standing instruction which is taken from the savings account.
Okay.
Okay. So during creating a loan account, we have to link it to the savings account, so that then only we'll be able to take the money from, like deduct the fee from the savings. So in future, we are even planning to do the repayments as well. Like we should take it from savings account instead of going and collecting in the field. Okay. So if you see this loan creation section on the settings, you can see here the link savings. So I have created a one savings account for this person, this client. So I'm selecting that. So I'll submit this loan on December 6th, 17th. Then expected date is on December 24th. Okay, let me add few tabs. Okay, rest of things are fine. Let me create this. Okay, here I will add the charge which I have created. Demos